Hello,
Hiya,
I'm Louis,
and I'm Sam.
and we are Hot Platers.
Yeah, we started taking photos of our food that we were cooking back at home in the first lockdown, and that sort of snowballed into where we are today. So thanks to Jazz for getting us involved in this, and it's all for a
Massive
good
thank you.
cause.
Indeed, the Trussell Trust is an organisation that supports food banks all across the country. Food banks have never been at a more needed and critical point than they are now, and we are incredibly lucky and privileged to be able to cook and eat the food that we do in this. So, massive shout out to Jazz again, and donate all that you can because it has never really been more important.
Donate, enjoy!
Thank you.
Woo! So for our homemade relish, we cut up some onion, some garlic, and some tomatoes up, and we whacked it in a food processor. You could leave it chunky, but we just wanted to...
Give ourselves a power cut for one.
I forgot about the power cut, yeah. Put that in a pan and just simmer it down until it's reduced by about 50%. Add some salt, pepper and sugar to counteract the acidity of the tomatoes. Whack in some red wine vinegar there, some cumin, and right at the end a splash of lime juice.
Burger buns, toast your cumin seeds until they smell good, and I'll toast it. Add your yeast to your flour and give it a quick mix. Add your cumin seeds. Add your oil. Gradually add warm water until it's roughly cohesive. You're going to try and knead this into the closest it can be to a ball. It is very messy, so don't be afraid to get aggressive, and don't forget to add your salt like I did. Once it's a rough ball, you're going to cover it and leave it for about an hour. After which, you're going to roll it out to about 3/4 of an inch and attempt to fold it back on itself, just like this, until you fail miserably and it all comes undone. Hey. After successfully rolling it back on itself, you're then going to leave it for another hour, after which you're going to press it into an oiled baking sheet and leave for another hour, after which you're going to cut them into 6, shape them nicely like I'm trying to do here, and they are basically ready to go in the oven. Just try and make sure they are even-ish, but it doesn't matter too much. Some nice close-ups, and here they are afterwards. Beautiful. Nice crispy exterior. They do kind of turn to boulders after about an hour, but just enjoy while they're hot. So, for your peppers, you're just going to chop them up into fairly thick slices. Doesn't matter too much, to be honest. Have a bit of a fumble. Put your knife down. Nick a bit of pepper. Lovely. Salt, plenty of. Your oil, your pepper, and your red seasoning of choice, whether it be paprika or cayenne. And just give that a real good mix and stick it into your preheated oven. For your slaw, you're just going to top and tail your carrots like so. Realise your bowl's too small, switch it out. Grate your carrots till the ends of the earth. Realise the jar's way too small and you're an idiot, so take it all out. Chop your red cabbage after realising you can't grate it because you're also an idiot. Give it a nice mix with your hands and season with your salt, pepper, lemon juice and syrup of choice. And you're going to give that another nice mix and realise it's missing something. So add a pear into the mix and I'll give it a nice sweet kick. Beautiful. In the jar, there you go.
For the falafel patties, we cut out some garlic, onion, some dried apricots, some fresh chilli, and some parsley. And you're going to want to drain your 2 tins of chickpeas, but keep your water aside for the aquafaba in the dessert. We processed up the chickpeas in the first run. We did it by hand, but we wanted to get a better patty texture. So this is us mixing all the ingredients from method 1 into the blended chickpeas. Give that a nice mix. Then you're going to want to add some plain flour. I added 4 heaped teaspoons. Just enough that it started to stick together quite nicely. I formed them into patties and then I put them on top of each other, separated by a bit of baking paper, into the fridge for about 15 minutes.
The longer they're in there, the better they'll set, probably.
Yeah, we had some the next day for breakfast and they'd been overnight and they were superb. But right now we've got some sweet potatoes on a shallow fry. We parboiled these for 20 minutes before, and this is the burger just going in the pan. And there we go.
Yep.
Chips after about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't mention the chips, but you know what to do with fries.
And bang, there we go. The burger is ready to be served. They end up being quite flat and
Time
quite
for
long
assembly.
compared to that. We had quite sturdy
Yeah,
buns.
the scaling was a bit of an issue, but it's all about the taste.
So we had some Morrison's hummus,
Shout out Morrison's.
some of our slaw,
Lovely. On goes your patty.
elongated patty.
Beautiful. On with some peppers, lovely and slick. Plenty of that relish because
It was really nice. It was
the start of the show,
so
really, isn't it?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes on top like so. Wow.
Pretty dense. Pretty dense. We were really tired when we finished making this. It was maybe about 11:10 at night.
But look at those textures. Woo!
Some of the slaw, some more of the relish, and the sweet potato fries on the side.
Honestly, load up on the relish. That is the one. And that's it. Enjoy.
Start off for the pretzels. I've got the warm water, some maple syrup, and the half a packet of yeast, and just mix it up in a measuring jug until the yeast is dissolved. The flour into a mixing bowl with some olive oil and season with some salt. Then I'm just going to pour in the mixture with the dissolved yeast in. Stir that with a spoon slowly to bind it together until it starts to form a dough. Did add more water to this and also added about another handful of plain flour when kneading it into the workspace. Work the dough for about 10 minutes and then you're going to want to put it into a oiled measuring bowl. You can leave this up to an hour and a half until it's risen. In this video we left it overnight. This is the following morning. The dough's a bit trickier to use. Cut it into 6 equal portions and then you're just going to want to start to roll this out into really long sausage. Try to go for about 2 centimeters in diameter. The longer you get, the more intricate you can get on your pretzel detail and make weirder shapes. Get creative now and shape all of your 6 sausages into your pretzels. Take a pan of water and bring to boil. Add 2 tablespoons of bicarbonate of soda before adding the pretzels in. Usually stay in for about 45 to 60 seconds. You can tell when they're ready to bring out because they'll float to the top and they'll go all puffy. Season with whatever you want. We used black sesame seeds, normal sesame seeds, Maldon salt and cracked black pepper as well. We didn't take any video, did we?
We did not, but they came out really, really well. Can definitely recommend this recipe. Yeah. So, dessert. Apples. Preheat your oven to 175 degrees and just go about coring your apples and roughly shingling them. It doesn't matter too much, but roughly a similar size is good. They're going to go into a tray with some brown sugar. Not as much here as we put in the recipe. It was kind of lacking, so go to town. Bit of nutmeg here. Some lovely shots. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Fancy.
Nice.
This is going to be followed up by some lemon juice, about half a lemon's worth, and a little sprinkle of salt as well, just for a bit of contrast. Those are going to go in the oven for about 30 or 40 minutes. Oh yeah, give them a good mix, obviously. Now, aquafaba meringues. What a delightful idea. That'll be super easy and straightforward. Thought we were mistaken, weren't we, Sam?
It's got to be the most challenging challenging thing I've ever done in a kitchen before. It was hard work becoming a human electric whisk.
Yeah, essentially. If you have an electric whisk, dear God, use it, because that was a challenge, shall we say.
We didn't go in blindsided either. We did like 2 test runs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
each time we were thwarted by Aquafaba.
It came up worse each time.
Yeah.
So we were really, really putting our hopes into this last batch. It looks so hopeful here. Like, it looks like it's going to be amazing. Holding
you need
form.
a binding agent if you're going to do this. The cream of tartar.
Yeah, that's the one you need. They look lovely here. While they bake in the oven for an extortionate amount of time, prepare your lemon syrup by zesting and juicing 1 lemon and adding that to your caster sugar in a pan and thickening that for about 10 minutes.
Look at that. That
Lovely.
Nice.
Now for the plating, which is probably the most fun part, to be honest. On go your apples, nice and fancy. A few dollops of your raw meringue mix, because your new meringue mix turned to crispy ash in the oven.
Still tasted nice though.
Which, yeah,
Still
it did.
tasted nice.
It did, which is what's showering the dessert right now. It's crispy and sweet, actually worked out really well. Then a bit of your lemon oil, really nice, and finish it with some pistachios.
Very wintry kind of felt like that.
Yeah, it's just not eaten mess even slightly at this point, but it's more seasonal, and it did taste pretty damn good.
Yeah, I was satisfied.
Very much so. Enjoy!